Hey everybody, this is what the final product turned out to be like. Hey, if you don't have the PE 700, 770 or the PE 800, stay tuned and watch a little bit of this anyway, because I'm going to show you how to design something. I'm also going to show you where you can find this butterfly applique and how I was able to cut it with my silhouette portrait. You can also cut it, of course, with your Cricut or Scan and Cut. But anyway, I think it turned out really super cute, and I'm thrilled with it. Also, the same technique can be used for splitting your designs for your Bernina Mega and Giga hoops, Husqvarna Plus hoops, Janome Giga hoops, Brother and Baby Lock Jumbo 14x14, etc. How about we could put it on the jacket that you're going to wear around in the summer down at the beach? Summertime fun at the beach or anything like that. How about on a pillow that you're going to decorate your home for the summertime? Or, you know, you can make it say anything you want to, but this is just to show you how easy it is to do something like this with those smaller machines. So now let's get started, and I'm going to tell you we're getting started again. Sorry about the duplicate. Hey everybody, Patty Ann here. Welcome back. Hey, today I'm going to do something that some friends of mine asked me to do on Facebook. Okay, so we've been talking about using the PE 700, 770, and the PE 800. And you know, I have that little machine and I absolutely love it. I truly do. I have much larger machines behind this screen right here. And as you know, oftentimes I'll use my 1700E right here. But I really like the little guy because he's just so handy. But anyway, you know, that machine usually just takes like a 5x7 hoop or a 6x10 hoop. Well, I'm going to show you today and remind you that you can use this big jumbo hoop that's 5x12 to add some things larger using that same machine. And I was going to show you this because remember in yesterday's video I showed you that t-shirt I cut apart. Well, this is one of the things I was practicing with on that t-shirt. This is larger than 5x7. I also did several other things, but I also did this, and this is larger than 5x7. Of course, wait a minute, let me make it look a little better for you. This could be applique, but I just went ahead and stitched it just like this. But if I were to measure this, so if I measure this, I can tell you that this thing measures about almost 12 inches, 11.5 inches wide. So we couldn't do that on our 6x10 or our 5x7. But with this baby, you can do it easy peasy. Let's get started and I'll show you how. And oh, by the way, all you need is essentials in Embrilliance. So one other thing, I'll have a link down below for you, this hoop, in case you want to check it out. Maybe you're interested in getting it. I also have links down below for Embrilliance, and I really appreciate it when you use those. So let's get started. Okay, this is the design I ended up creating, and this is for my PE 770. But I am going to show a little bit about the butterfly. And by the way, when I did the word sun on the one that was stitched out, I had to manually stop my machine because I wanted the word sun, to be yellow. So what I can do now is I can fix it so that when I save it again, it'll be ready to be a different color. And how do I do that? Like this. I'm just going to use the stitch simulator, go all the way till I get to all the purpley stuff. Then when it gets done with the purple, and of course I'm not making it purple on my design, but as soon as it gets to the word sun, and I can use this button here that goes ahead like one stitch at a time. I don't know what this button in the upper left-hand corner is called. Those of you have been telling me I should say it. But that button right there, I'm just going back and forth until it gets to the S. And you can see that going back and forth maybe right here. I'm going to keep clicking on that until it gets to the S. As soon as it gets to, as soon as it gets right there, I'm going to come up here to the stop sign and say stop. That's going to allow me to make it another color. I'll make it any color. I can make it yellow if I want to, but I already have some yellow at the end here, so I'll make it this pinky color. All right, so there we go. Okay, I should save this now, so I'm going to save it as Summertime 3, just because I've been working on this a little bit. Now remember, the third time was the charm. So I'm going to come up here to File, Save. I'm just going to save the stitch file as, and I'm going to save it as Summertime 3, SUMMERTIME 3, okay? And I'll say save. And now you'll see what we're going to get when we put this on the hoop. So if I go to open, Summertime 3, here it is, Summer 3, here's the bottom, and I'm going to show you this in a video, what this means. Here's the bottom. This is what's going to stitch out first, and after that is done stitching, and I'm going to show you how to put the hoop in. After that's done stitching, then Summertime 3 top will stitch out just like that. So I said I was going to show you a little something about this applique, and so let's just open up a new page so as not to mess anything up. And I'll just bring this back to a regular frame by coming here. And by the way, I forgot to tell you that in the beginning. When you want to use one of these jumbo frames that you get for your PE 770 or PE 800, that's for my Pez, my brother machine. And I come over here to where it says hoop style, and I'm going to click on multi-position, and that's what lets me see this. And when I click on jumbo hoop, notice what it says right here. It's approximately 5 by 12, and that's the one I want to use. Okay, so I would say apply, and there it is. But just for our applique and how to cut it, I'm going to go back to normal, and I'm going to go to a 5 by 7 size. And some of you may be saying, well, mine doesn't say 5 by 7 in the beginning like yours does. Well, the way I fixed that was I came over here to the word edit after I clicked on that. And let's see, do I have the 100 by 100? Here we go. Here's 100 by 100. When I click on that, notice that's the 4 by 4 hoop. If I want to change it so in front of the millimeters it says 4 by 4, simply come over here to edit, and right in front of this one right there, I'm going to put 4x4, so 4 by 4, and say OK. And now look, right there it says 4 by 4. So let's open a 4 by 4 this time. I'll apply it and say OK. All right, now where did I get that butterfly applique? I came up here to the merge design. Okay, so you're going to come up here, and in the catalog area, when you're here, I went to Embrilliance Applique. Okay, so Embrilliance Applique right there. Notice right there under Embrilliance Applique here, it says Applique Gift 2013. I suggest that you go to the Embrilliance blog, and you should be able to see the app, or do a search for Applique Gift and get these free designs. Okay, so right here when I went down, there's a butterfly. I'm going to click on it and say OK. Notice it says Applique, and notice there are 3 different colors down here in the properties panel. There's the applique position, applique material, and Floriani thread, because that's what I use for the outermost stitching. So this is all fine and dandy. We can look at it with the stitch simulator, and you can see barely that there are 3 different colors. I think I'll make the applique position one a little bit different color so you can see it a little bit more easily. There we go. So we have the applique position right here, the applique material, and the applique final stitching. So right here, the applique position is the one I want to make into my cut file. So to do that, I'm going to click on this, and this dialog box pops up. I clicked on the color chip over here in the properties panel. The dialog box pops up. It comes to color. I want to go to applique. I have it at applique position, And I think I will just inflate this 1.5 millimeters. Okay, inflate 1.5 millimeters. Then I'm going to say save, and I'll name this as Butterfly 3 because this is the third one I've done. And I'm going to save it as a scalable graphic. If you want to, you could save it for your Silhouette machine as a Silhouette file. You could save it for Scan and Cut, or you could save it for your brother machine. Where is that? The FCM Scan and Cut. Sorry, I already said that. Scan and Cut. But I'm going to save it as a scalable graphic and say OK. Save. OK. So now we'll just say OK to that second box that comes up. Just ignore it and then X this out. So now when we open up Silhouette software, see, I already have one here. Let's delete him. And let's see. I think that's all. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to File, Open, and I'm going to find Butterfly 3 right here. There he is. Say OK. So there's Butterfly 3. Not sure why it makes my page all wonky like this, but all I need to do is come over here to the page setup and change my media size to auto letter, because that's the mat I'm using, and I like to move him down a little bit. Now I can see about how big he is. He's about 2.5 inches by 2 inches if I look right up here in the upper, sort of in the left. And so I might just make my piece of fabric that I cut out like 3.5 inches by 3.5, just to make sure it's big enough. Then I'm going to show you what I do next. Okay, when I'm getting my fabric ready, I like to use Terial Magic and put it on here. It's like a starch, and it makes it sort of papery. Then I take some of my Steam a Seam Light 2, and I peel off one of the paper parts of it, like that. And then I simply take the wrong side up and put this on top and press that into place. Sorry about my messy ironing station. It's a big pen. Like that. Then the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take this, and here's my mat. I'm going to put this paper side down on my mat like that. And then I'm going to send this over to my cutting machine. I'll do a test cut first to make sure it's going to cut through like I want it to, and then I'll finish up. And then after it's been cut, I can simply peel it off like this. Perfect, right? And turn this upside down so I can peel this off. And the paper comes off. And this is ready to be ironed on to my project, just like that. Okay, I feel like I've been jumping here and there and here and there, so I'm going to start from the very beginning again, really quickly. I'm going to come up here first of all to this little icon right here that says Preferences. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to come over here. I'm in my Pez format because that's the brother. I'm going to come over here to Hoop Style and turn on Multi-Position. The only hoop that I can use for my 770 or 800 is this one called a jumbo hoop. When I click on it, I see it is the 5x12 hoop, which is what I want, and I'll say Apply and OK. Right now my hoop is not showing. If I click on the letter H, suddenly it will show. I had it hidden from myself on purpose. Now I'm going to double click on the word hoop down here in the lower corner, because when you double click on that, notice what it does. It rotates the hoop. I would rather my hoop be this way so I can more easily read it. This time I'm going to make it say Schools Out for Summer. Okay, so I'm going to come up here to the text tool, and I'm going to make this first word say schools. S-C-H-O-O-L apostrophe S. Schools. See? Schools. Okay, let me fix that. I think I'll make it all cap. So S-C-H-O-O-L S-C-H-O-O-L apostrophe S. I'll do schools out and hit enter. And I'm going to make that big. And I'm not going to worry too much about the font or anything. Schools out. Maybe right now I'll put the word for right here. So I'll come up here to the text tool again and I'll just type in FOR. Oops, I got to click over here on text first. FOR, hit enter. And if I would really like to, I probably could make that a different font. Schools out for, and the last one I'm going to do, summer. Text, S-U-M-M-E-R, and hit enter. And I'm going to bring that down here, make it really big. Kids might like this on their shirt or something. School's out for summer. And of course you can change these to different colors if you'd like. For example, if I want to change these letters here, I would have to come up here to the Stitch Simulator, and when I get to the word summer, maybe the first letter I will let be that purpley color or whatever, and I'll use this little icon up here in the upper left by the stop sign to go back and forth. Let's see, as soon as it gets to the next letter, okay, so right there, right back there, see where it's doing the back and forth stitch? That's like a little lock stitch. I'm going to say stop, and I'll change it to a different color and say okay. And then it's going to continue on like that. School's out for summer, and I'm going to go all the way to the end of the U, okay, and use this same little button up here to make it go back and forth. Now this means I'm going to have to be changing my thread color a lot. You know, my machine's going to be stopping. But if you don't mind, you're making this for your son or your daughter or whomever, it could be fun. So summer. And then you can continue changing them like that. Again, you could change this font to something else. Maybe you don't want it to be block. Maybe you want it to be comedy or something, whatever. To something else. I could change this to comedy. Comedy, schools out. Like that. A little smaller. School's out for, and I could even rotate this a little bit if I want to. And somebody might like that on his shirt. You know, continue on with these colors and everything. And so what, I've already done this. It's already ready. I don't have to do any more work. All I do is save it. File. I'll save the stitch and working file. Save as stitch and working. And I'll just type and call it School's Out Split. School is out split. So I remember it's a split file. And I'll say save. And so now we're ready to go, because look at this. When I go to open, I can open up the School's Out Split bottom. And remember, that's the first thing that I did, because that's on the lower bottom. Once I'm done with that, then I would move the hoop up and open. There we go, top, open. So that's all we do then, and then you would just follow along like I had showed you where to put how to put the hoop in and that kind of stuff. So I hope this helps. Okay, I've saved the design on this little cord that I add into my machine, so I don't have to always be crawling around back there and perhaps messing it up. I'm going to use this pink thread for the first part. So I'm going to come up here and I'll go to the pocket and I'll maneuver until I get to the one that I want. Oopsie, there's the one I want right there. So I'll put it there in the pocket and I'm pretty much ready to go. So now what you need to know is when you're doing the bottom part, which will be the bottom part in this long hoop, when I put this into my machine, what you need to look at is this. On this hoop, there are two ways to hook it on here, and then there are two hooks here. Notice on this thing, there are only two hooks. So to do the bottom, you're going to hook it into those two pieces right there. And I'll need two hands. But when that is done stitching, then I'll come up here to the top two and hook it in like that. You'll never put it in between these two. It's either going to be the bottom two or the top two. So let me put the bottom two in and get started. Okay, it's ready to go. The first thing it's going to stitch is the little tack downy stitch. I forget what that's called. The box that it puts around the outside. And then it's going to start the bottom stitching. So I need to just come right over here, put my presser foot down, and hit go. And I did stabilize this blue jean material with iron-on or fusible no-show mesh. I just wanted to do a fusible because this denim does have a little bit of stretch to it, and I wanted to help it to not stretch. Okay, now it's stopping so that I can change the color, but I'm not going to, so I'm just going to say go. And I'll snip this. Now, as you know, I have summertime, and then underneath of it, a applique butterfly, and then I have fun in the sun. I actually think if I had spent a little more time, I could have found a few pair of flip-flops to put on there instead of a butterfly. But I didn't want to spend that much time because this, again, is a sample to show y'all how you can do this. I think something like this would be really cute to put on the back of a jean jacket. How about down the leg of some jeans? That'd be cool. This piece right here is from an old pair of blue jeans that I just cut out. Okay, the first step has finished, and now it's on to the second one. And I've put in this teal colored thread, and it's going to start stitching out the word fun, I think. Yes, I think it is fun. So let's check it out. Put this down. I've already threaded the needle. There we go. Okay, I should have probably thought about what fabric I had before I did the colors, but this matches okay. So I've cut this out on my Silhouette portrait machine, and I can show you how I did that. And I have Steam a Seam 2 light on the back. I'm going to press that down, and then I'll come back and start stitching. Okay, that's been pressed into place. I'm still on the bottommost two hooks here because I'm still on the bottom part. So I have to hook those in there. Make sure they're hooked well in. Okay, I'll put my presser foot down. And I have the teal color. I guess I'll just use that and see how this is going to go. Now this is going to be the tack down stitch. And after the tack down, it will stop, and then it will do the final stitching, which I'm just going to do right with the same color. Okay, it says it's finished sewing this part, so now it's going to go on to the top portion. So I'm going to say okay, and I'm going to go back and back. And is it okay to delete this? Yes, it's okay, because I'm going to load the next one now. There's the one with the butterfly. There's the other part I need. Click this little button up, and then I'm ready to go, but I wanted to show you again how you know which hooks to use. So let's see if I can get this for you to see. Okay, so right now when I undo this, I'm in these two hooks. That's the bottom. Now I'm going to do the top. So I'm simply going to lift this up to the top two and place those in the spot where they go, like that. Oopsie. And I can trim this stitch or line or thread that's going all the way from there. And now I'm ready to go again. And it's going to start doing fun Oh wait, what's it going to do first? Ooh, the rest of summertime. So I need to make sure I change my thread color. And here's a finished product. Thanks so much for joining me. If you have any questions, let me know down below. And don't forget to check out my links down below and like and subscribe if you liked if you liked the video. Again, thanks so much. Bye for now.